Welcome to Voices of Resilience, part of the Iron Sharpening Iron Universe, where stories of strength, healing, and hope come to life. I'm your host, Davina Lyons, also known as Mama Lyons, and this space is dedicated to amplifying the voices of those who've turned pain into purpose. Each episode, we dive into real conversations about courage, self-discovery, and rising stronger than ever. So lean in, take a deep breath, and be inspired by the incredible voices of resilience, because every story has the power to heal. Welcome back to Voices of Resilience, a space where real stories remind us that healing is possible, purpose can rise from pain, and our voices matter. I'm your host, Davina Lyons, also known as Mama Lyons. Today's conversation is powerful, and I'm truly honored to introduce our guest. Joining me is Krishann Garrett, also known as Chris, a proud New Orleans native, co-owner of Obsidian Whisper Press, author, entrepreneur, and a dedicated community-based services manager, working on the front lines of healing and restoration. Chris is the author of Beyond the Scars, a deeply personal book that has been more than 15 years in the making, a reflection of her journey through trauma, survival, and the long, intentional process of healing. Her story is rooted in creativity, faith, and an unwavering commitment to helping others navigate life after traumatic experiences, including domestic violence. She lives by the words faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. And that truth shows up not only in her writing, but in the way she serves her community and shows up for others every day. Today, we'll talk about resilience in its rawest form, what it means to keep going when life tries to silence you, how creativity can become a lifeline, and why healing is not just personal, but communal. This is a conversation about survival, strength, and becoming more than what you've been through. Please help me welcome my guest, Krishann Garrett.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I had a special welcome that I normally do and somehow just totally missed it. So it's okay. You're on,
There you
and
go.
I'm happy that you're here and excited to have this conversation. I want to definitely start out by having you tell us a little bit about yourself, explain how you ended up where you are today, and then we'll deep dive.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I am a native of New Orleans. I work in the healthcare field with the elderly that I absolutely love. That is a part of my purpose. It's not my only purpose, but it is definitely a part of my purpose. I have wonderful kids. I have multiple wonderful kids that I live and breathe every day for them because I really feel like as parents, that is what we need to do. We need to be able to leave them a legacy, leave them something behind. Rather than monetary things, you have to leave them something to live by. Um, I am a literary at heart. I love poetry. I love the literary arts and things like that. And I really believe that the literary arts, there it's healing. It's healing. No matter what way you look at it, no matter what way you see it, it is healing. So that's where basically my book came from. It's like, hey, you've healed through a lot of things. You have um, a lot to your story and you and who you are that people don't know, and they need to know how you made it to this point. You never know who you can help by just telling your story. So
Right,
that's how
right.
I kind of made it to this point. And through all the healing and through all the things I did, I was able to get back to a point to where I was able to find love in my life. and he was able to help me get to the point to where we are today, both of us being founders of the publishing company Obsidian Whisper Press. So though a person's journey is not easy, it's worth it. To live out
That's
your purpose, it is absolutely worth it.
That's right. That's right. So you mentioned your book, Beyond the Scars. That took over 15 years for you to write, 15 years of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kept that staying alive within you, that need to write that story?
Because as a human being, you go through things and it's kind of like, wait a minute, I know I am not going through this again. This cannot be happening again. Lord, you have to have some type of purpose in me in order for me to have to go through this over and over and over again. So when I
Mhm.
first went through some things in my life, which was at a younger age, it was, you just couldn't understand. When you're younger, you don't have the maturity, you don't have the mindset to understand what you're going through. So in my mind, I always said there has to be a purpose behind my pain, a
Mm.
beyond my struggle. I've always thought that. And then,
Mhm.
sometimes God doesn't just, tap you. He nudges you. He'll tell you, hey, you need to do what you need to do. I'm putting you on earth to do this. I need you to live out your purpose. And when you
Mm.
live out your purpose, it's freeing. It's so freeing. You're able to breathe. You're able to say, Lord, this is the reason why. And I'm able to help this one person, but wait, what if I'm able to help multiple people get through things and they realize this is not the end of my story, but I still have a story to tell. I still have things that I can do. I still have people that I can help. So that's why it took so long. I wasn't listening. I was not listening. I was not listening. And the Lord was just
Yeah.
like, look, I'm no longer tapping you. I'm pushing you. I'm nudging you because people out here need to know and people need to see that story. So to see it, I had to write it. And I had to rehash a lot of things that was going on in the past that I just stuffed because I feel like a lot of people stuff down things that they go through rather than dealing with it. So it's like, okay, Lord, you're making me resurface a lot of these wounds, a lot of this pain. It has to be for a purpose. It has to be for a purpose. And I had
Absolutely.
to relive it. And by me reliving it in my head, mentally, I wasn't okay, but I had to know there was a reason behind it. So that's why
Right.
that 15-year tenure, it was just there. It was definitely there.
You're not the only one that has has a book buried within them. There's so
Hmm.
many people that, and it's one of the things that as I mentioned earlier,
Hmm.
off stage, is that I have devoted a lot of time to developing manuscripts to help people write their story, and looking forward to partnering with you as a publisher to help not only help them write the story but get the story printed. Right.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
I think that would be amazing. But you know, I realized a long time ago that it's somehow cathartic to share your story, but at the same time, it's a bigger reward to share it in a purposeful way, so that other people can. I used to say, you can tell your story so that someone can overcome theirs, or
Right.
someone can maybe avoid theirs.
Hmm.
Not everyone has to be experiential. Some
Hmm.
people, maybe they will read or hear something that will change the trajectory of their life. And
Exactly.
so then you are walking out your purpose. So I think it's amazing what you do. I love it. It's totally in alignment with my vision and mission and what I do as well. So I was very excited, both to read your book and to meet you for that reason, because there's a lot of us soldiers out there, right? There's a lot of
Yes,
us out there.
yes,
If we come together, we can help more people.
yes,
So it's
absolutely.
awesome. So you've been open about surviving domestic violence, as I
Hmm.
have in the past as well. So I understand what that's like. What was the turning point for you when you realized healing was possible in that situation, for the person that's out there who's in domestic violence now?
I had to give myself permission to feel.
Okay.
A lot of times when you're in it, it's like, even if it's with kids, you have kids involved in it and things like that. You feel like you don't have the time to feel. You just got to make it through for them. But if you're just skating through, you're not feeling. You're not feeling. It's okay to acknowledge I'm hurt. It's okay to acknowledge I'm confused. It's okay to acknowledge, hey, I was done wrong. But the biggest thing after acknowledging that, you have to be able to move on. You have
Mm.
to say that it's okay to move forward and that you didn't do anything wrong, but to be able to move forward and to move forward in a positive way and to help
Mhm.
others through that process too. And to not judge others through that process as well. So that was my turning point when I gave myself permission. A lot of times, we as females in general don't give ourselves permission to feel because it hurts. It hurts. So we don't
That's
give
right.
ourselves permission to heal, to feel, but we
Right.
have to feel. In order to heal, you have to feel
Mhm.
it. You have to know what it feels like, because that's kind of like being by a stove, a gas stove, and the
Mhm.
fire is up. You don't know what it feels like to be burned, but when you know what it feels like, you know not to do it again. So in
That's
order
right.
to know what it feels like not to do it again, you have to feel that. You have to know how to get through that. So that was my turning point. I had to know and give myself permission to feel in order to get through it. And don't be afraid to acknowledge that you're healing. That I'm not there yet. I am not there yet, but I
That's
will
right.
get there. But I'm
That's
currently
right.
healing. And it's okay to say no, and that I'm not in a space to handle this, that, or the other. It's okay.
So, and you're kind of touching on my next question because part of what you're describing, there's a look to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I mean by that is, because often we'll throw, especially those of us in the coaching community or in the community of serving others in personal development, we'll throw these terms out there. But I wonder if some people not quite understand what is that. What is beyond what you are um, saying, what is
Mm-hmm.
it looking like to people who are watching? What does it look like to heal? And because, and we talked about this earlier too. The direction I'm going in is
Mm-hmm.
uh, some of your friends fall off,
Right.
or you
Right.
realize who. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does that
Mm-hmm.
look like when you're going through that process, that part of your journey?
Right. And it looks like, number one, again, acknowledging it.
Hmm.
Acknowledging I'm hurt.
Hmm.
Acknowledging the people that you have surrounded in your life just may not be appropriate for your journey at that time. It's
Right.
okay. It's not that you don't like them anymore, and it may not even be that you don't love them anymore. But right now in my journey, I cannot have you in my space. I have to heal myself. Now, maybe after we're healed, of course, but I need to heal. And again, as females, we're very emotional. We're very emotional. And
Hmm.
most of us want to help everybody and be there for everybody, but you cannot be there for everybody if you're not there for yourself. So it's
Hmm.
making a conscious choice every morning to wake up and say, hey, this is a new day. Maybe I'm not feeling as mentally okay as I can be, but I'm up. I'm awake, and I'm gonna take this step by step in my healing journey. That's healing. That's healing. That's acknowledging and knowing I need to do this in order for me to get to the next step in my life. I don't care if it's waking up the next day with a positive attitude. If it takes you the day before getting up to say, hey, I'm going to do this today for myself, I'm going to do that today for myself, that's what I'm going to do. And there is
Right.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. And again, everybody is not along for that journey. And if they're not, it's okay. It's okay, because your purpose to do something. And sometimes your purpose does not include everybody or everything.
Right. Right. That's that part. It doesn't. Your purpose doesn't always include everybody,
Exactly.
and that's a tough thing to learn as you're going through the process of healing,
Hmm.
because we
Hmm.
want everybody to love us. We want
Right.
everybody to be okay with us,
Hmm.
and I catch myself a lot of times, thinking about maybe this person right now is somebody I shouldn't spend time around because I feel different when I'm around them. And that
Right.
means that they're not gelling with me. We're not vibing. And so
Hmm.
being aware of that is very important. you
Right.
know. You mentioned faith, hope, and love,
Yeah.
right? Love is at the center. Love is the thing. How
Mhm.
did those values help you carry through in your darkest moments?
It brought me back to church, baby, when they had me in church 24/7, honey. When you were a child, you had no choice. You were in Sunday school, morning service, evening service, revival, Bible study. You were in everything.
All of
But you
that.
when you were younger, you never thought about it like that. You were like, Lord, do I get a Sunday to stay home, Jesus? Do I have a day to stay home? But what that was doing, that was instilling those values in you, because little did I know throughout my process of life, I was going to have to hang on into those things. And even as I was little, that was just my favorite thing. It was faith, hope, and love. That's what stayed in my mind. Faith, hope, and love. Faith, hope, and love. All three of them are different, and all three of them are different values, but all of them go together because your base
Mm-hmm.
is faith. Your base
Mm-hmm.
is faith. So once you have that faith, all the other ones will come behind, but you have to have that faith first. So that's where it kind of started. It was like, baby, I am in church every Sunday, Sunday after church. Then at night, that wait, don't forget choir rehearsal now. So you just get to be there so often, but those little things, it just becomes ingrained. It becomes ingrained in you, and I'm forever grateful for my parents for that, because they are the ones who instilled that in me. But faith, hope, and love just resonates in me. Again, the faith is just learning where your faith comes from and the basis of it. But
Right.
hope, it was like people don't even talk about hope enough. Hope is that optimism. Hope is like, hey, I see this. This is
Mm-hmm.
it. This is what I'm having. That, just that hope. And love to me is the hardest part, to be honest with you. It is the hardest part, because love is not just a word, it's not a feeling like people think it is. It's an action. It is an action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
That's a
you
good
learn
point.
to love through things. You learn to love beyond things. And I had to learn, just through all the things that I've been through in my life, God still loved me. You know how much I did? You know how many times I
Mm.
disappointed him? And he still loves me. He still loves me every day by allowing me to wake up every day and to have a purpose and to still be on this earth, to have my kids, to have the person I love, to have the people and the family that I love in my life. So he still gave me a purpose. He still gave me reason for being here. So how can I not love my brother or sister or somebody who has wronged me? How can I not love them? And God still loved me through all that I did.
It's so tough for people to that part right there is so tough for a lot of people to get
It
and
is.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe what we put out, we get back.
Right.
So I totally agree that being able to forgive and being able
Mm-hmm.
to still love despite what
Mm-hmm.
someone has done to you. Ooh, that's a superpower.
It's hard. And people have asked me,
That's a
they
superpower.
actually have asked me, after this person did this to you, you went through all of this with them. How could you even say, hey, I forgive you? And I'm like, because forgiveness is not for me. I'm for him.
Yeah,
It's for me.
for you.
It's
Hmm.
for me. Because
Hmm.
as long as you have that unforgiveness in your heart, it binds you. It binds the blessings that God has for you. It binds you in your life. You're walking around with bitterness and anger and sometimes even fear, living just your life in fear 24/7. So you have to
Absolutely.
realize that forgiveness is not even for that person. You're freeing yourself. You're freeing
Mm,
yourself. And he was even man enough to come and say, I hope you forgive me. And I had to tell him, you were already forgiven.
right.
You have to forgive
Absolutely.
yourself and do better moving forward.
Hmm.
Moving
Hmm.
forward. So no, it's
Hmm.
not an easy thing. It is not an easy thing. Baby, it takes prayer and supplication, Jesus. And a lot of things to
A lot
come
of it,
in
right?
your heart. Okay. And it's not just with romantic relationships, it's with people who do you wrong as well.
In
Sometimes,
general.
they say to turn the other cheek. You might have to have about 15,000 cheeks to turn, but sometimes you do have to turn that other cheek. As hard as it is sometimes you have to turn that other cheek. Pray about it and move on, because one thing I do believe, that God will take care of them better than you can, and you're wasting your time and energy when you can be putting that into something else.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of times people, for instance, on the job, you have a coworker or someone that you have to face all the
Mhm.
time. And if you're not getting along or there's issues or what have you, I especially see something like that where you have to learn to go along to get along to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in someone's face kikiing, you don't have to do
Right.
that
Right.
because that to me is being inauthentic. But
Mhm.
but definitely put it in perspective and don't
Mhm.
let it chip away at your soul is the way I
Right.
look at it.
Right.
And I'm
Absolutely.
one of those people that usually tell you if I have a problem and then I'm able to move on.
Mhm.
I can forgive once I get it off my chest. I
Right.
gotta say what I gotta
Right.
say.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
But nonetheless, like you, I have learned to just let it roll off like water off of a duck's back,
Mhm.
because it
Mhm.
just doesn't do any good to be upset with someone and they've moved on with their lives and they
Mhm.
don't even care or
Right. Exactly.
um so you write plays, right?
Mhm.
So writing plays, that's also a very powerful way of walking out your purpose. How does
Mhm.
storytelling help you reclaim your voice after your trauma?
Because it was a way for me to heal. It was how
Okay.
I healed. I wasn't bold enough, like I'm speaking to you now. I wasn't bold enough to verbally speak about it. So
Mm,
writing was my way to heal. Journaling was my way to heal, to have it on paper. And um that was kind of the birth of Obsidian Whisper Press,
okay.
because you know we truly believe that people can heal through writing. People can heal through journaling, because obsidian means stone of truth.
Ah,
It
okay.
means stone of truth. And whisper press is just what it is. So we see it as a gentle stone of truth. That's what obsidian whisper press is. It's a gentle stone of truth.
Love that.
And
A
it's
gentle
that
stone.
person's truth. Each person's truth is different. I mean, my story may be different from somebody else's story and from somebody else's story, but it's their truth. So
Right.
that's what's important. That's how I healed. I wrote, I typed, I mean, I did everything. So again, that's why it took 15 years to get this out, but a lot of it had to just go into that. And I really think that some people may not be able to verbalize it. So writing it and just having it as your own journal, your own memoirs, is the best way to get it out sometimes. So it's really a healing journey through writing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, that is it's a whew, it is so refreshing sometimes to even just list making. Like I don't know
Mhm.
about you, but I will when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I always have a journal. I have daily journals. I have all
Mhm.
kinds of journals. But when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I will sit down and list everything that I feel is burdening my mind. Just write it out. Just write it
Right.
out like a checklist.
Mhm.
And then I started, you get it out of here, then it doesn't, bother you as much. And then you can process and say, okay, here are my next steps. Here's what I'm going to do to resolve
Right.
this or
Mhm.
make peace over this or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
So I think that's really, really cool.
Mhm.
Another thing is that you serve as a community based or you work in the community. Tell us
Mhm.
about what you're doing there in the community. You're in New Orleans, correct?
Well, I am with
Hmm.
the program that I'm with. It's a private program, but it's a healthcare program. So
Okay.
my deal, being the community-based services manager, is actually to make sure our community partners out there, hospitals, small specialized clinics and stuff like that, are aware of who we are, and if they're able to service our elderly that's in our program, that's what we want to do. So that's
Mm,
our biggest thing. But
nice.
also, um, and I don't think I even mentioned it to you, but also I am a board member of something called Help a Sister Out. So Help a
Oh,
Sister Out is it's an organization that helps those who are victims of domestic violence. So when it's funny because there was a coworker on from my job,
Okay.
actually, she used to work with me. So when she
Okay.
worked with me, we stayed friends. Till this day we're still friends, and she started it because she went through the same thing. So when she asked me
Mm.
to be a part of the board, I'm like, absolutely. Anytime we can help someone through this because of what we've been through, absolutely, and we'll bring awareness. So I'm a part of a lot of things because I know a lot of people need help with it.
Is that a local only there, or is it
It is.
nationwide,
It's
or
here. It's
it is?
local here.
Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. Help a sister out.
Help a
Love
sister
it.
out. And the founder
Specifically
is
with
Tanisha
domestic violence.
Jones. Yes. And the founder
Okay.
is Tanisha Jones. And she does so much good and work for the community and things like that too, bringing awareness out there for domestic violence. She partners with different people in the area during Christmas to help kids get coats, during Thanksgiving for food drives. So we do all of that. So that's a big part of my journey as well, being able to help those who just can't help themselves, especially mentally, to get through
Okay.
these
What was her first name again? Because I think I cut you
Tanisha.
off.
Tanisha.
Tanisha.
Uh-huh. Tanisha Jones. Yes.
Got it. And I wonder, is she on LinkedIn?
She is. She is. And she'll be
Okay, good.
happy to talk to you. I'll make sure you get information for her after
Oh,
this because
absolutely.
it'll be an amazing time talking to her too. She's very, very passionate because she's resilient. She is absolutely resilient and
Love it. Love it.
getting through it. And she made lemons into lemonade.
She also made lemonade.
Yes.
Oh, that's it right there. I love it. Oh my goodness, that's good
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So for someone listening right now who
Mm-hmm.
feels stuck in pain or
Mm-hmm.
we're in silence, what's
Mm-hmm.
one truth you want them to know?
You're okay. You're okay. You're not
Mhm.
stuck. You're processing. And the only person who can help you move on from where you are and what you're going through is you. There's nothing
Mm,
wrong with you. You don't let people talk about you, and be very mindful of who you're sharing with. Be very
mm.
mindful of who you're sharing with. You cannot share with everybody. Sometimes God calls you to move in silence, and then reach out to those who you trust in order to move on.
You sure said a lot right there. You said a lot. Listen, I'm telling you, if there's any lesson I learned, it was that one
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
But what I really, something you said that I love, you said you're not stuck, you're processing.
Right.
Oftentimes, like when we're on the computer and we're just trying to go really, really fast, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden it's like, oh, this thing is so slow, and we're impatient. We're hitting more buttons. We're hitting more buttons,
Yeah.
only
Hmm.
causing it to take longer to process.
Right.
We
Right.
are such a right now society, and we want answers right now. We want change right now. And sometimes you have to be strategic, right? You
Right.
have to be
Hmm.
strategic about the changes you need to make in your life. Even if a person is in a domestic violence situation, be
Hmm.
strategic and
Absolutely.
plan and know
Absolutely.
what your exit strategy is going to be,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So I love that analogy of you're not stuck, you're processing. That
Right.
means don't give up on yourself, right?
That's
Don't,
right. That's
oh,
right.
I'm you're never doomed to the relationship or the situation you're in.
No. No.
However, when you're in it, you think you are. And I
Right.
experienced it myself. And I
Uh-huh.
know. I know it took me years to break free from something and someone. And
Uh-huh.
so with that and understanding that, now looking back on it, I was feeling stuck. I
Mhm.
wasn't processing. I was just,
Mhm.
all I was thinking is, what are my options? I don't have any. I have to do this. I have,
Right.
because a lot of times
Mhm.
money or your
Mhm.
job, your situation, you don't feel, but you're
Mhm.
not stuck, are you?
Right.
You're not
Right.
stuck.
And like we just said earlier, when you're doing that and you're not allowing yourself time to feel. You're not giving
Right.
yourself time to feel. You got to feel it. You don't want to. So then, like you said, you just press button after button after button, thinking you're going to fix it. You have to give yourself time to feel it, to know, okay, I need to go on to my next step. Because if you don't, you're not processing it. You're not processing the pain, what you're going through, or what you need to do. So, just like you
Right.
said, being strategic about everything you do is important.
It
It's
really
important.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, for people that are writing, what
Mhm.
types of stories or authors are you looking for to help uplift through Obsidian Press, Whisper Press?
Your real story, your
Okay.
real story, your authentic story. Stories of, just like the podcast is about, your story of resilience, your story of, hey, I went through this, but you can make it through. We
Mhm.
have to have that you can make it through. We can't stick with, hey, this happened and that's it. No, we want to know, what did you do? How are you here to help others? Because that's our purpose. We're helping others through truth, through real stories, through your truth, and how you're making it through, or how you plan to make it through. So that's
Yeah.
what that is absolutely what we are looking for. People who want to tell their story, have a tough time telling their story and making it through. We are here to work you through every single step of the way. Every
Mhm.
single step of the way. Even if that's just you putting a journal out there. That may be your healing process. Okay, well, let's get a journal together. And it'll be
Mhm.
your journal. Let's get that together. So, whatever way you find that you need to heal, and it's not just females, it could be males too. Males go through things. It is
Thank
not
you
just
for saying that. Yeah, absolutely.
males go through things too. And there's nothing wrong with these males saying, hey, I'm hurting. I went through something with a female and I'm hurting. I felt like I was verbally abused. I was mentally abused. Nothing is wrong with that. And our society has it to where they make them feel, they emasculate them. They
Right.
emasculate them for feeling. They have a right to feel too. So it's just not females we're looking for. We can look for, hey, males too. No one is excluded from that. But our
Right.
most important point is how we will make it through. It may end up being a counseling session trying to get through it while we're writing a book. But hey, that is totally okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. We will
Yeah.
make it through. We will hold
Yeah.
your hand and walk through it together. So that is what we're looking for. People along those
Yeah.
lines. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was reading your book, I was thinking about how um, hope. I was just having a conversation recently with someone and saying that I feel like we're almost a hopeless nation with so many things happening,
Hmm.
and so many people are not hopeful
Hmm.
of improvement. And I hear it in conversations, and yet when you take hope out of the equation,
Hmm.
everything falls.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the legs on a table. It's like hope holds us up. It's You have to have something to look forward to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's why holidays and special times, traditions are so important, because
Hmm.
people look forward to them,
Hmm.
and that's that time to rest or relax or what have you.
Right.
But no matter what the situation is that you're in, you have to be hopeful for a better situation.
That's
And
right.
therefore, like you said, have faith,
Right.
believe that it can change.
Hmm.
Um, for a
Hmm.
lot of people, they have a hard time with that. They
Yeah.
struggle with that.
Yeah, and
So
there's
I'm
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's, again, it's a part of your healing journey. You may not be ready to accept that, but you remember, I always go back to, you have to allow yourself time to feel it and to know you can
Mhm.
get through it. It's hard. It is so hard. It wasn't easy for me, knowing I had little lives looking at me like, mama, what we going to do next? So
Right.
it was hard for me, but that little glimmer of hope was still right there. It was like, hey, you're not going to be like this the whole time. You may have to
Right.
go through this, because I don't know if you ever see the analogy on social media sometimes, you know, you got to be willing to give up some things to get the big thing that God has behind me. I can't
Mhm.
see it. I cannot see
Mhm.
it. He's not going to show
Mhm.
it to me until I'm obedient and do what
Right.
he's asking me to do. So sometimes, yes, it's hard to see, but we can definitely get through it. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. On a personal note, I New Orleans.
Uh-huh.
Everybody I've met from New Orleans, I have found to be cool and fascinating for some
Mhm.
reason. I just,
Mhm.
and so there's something to me very special about that environment, just based on the people that I have met. How has your city helped shape you personally and professionally? Just curious.
Because no matter what we go through, we make it through. We make it through. And that you just have to we make it through. And I think that we were raised with a lot of grit. We were raised with grit. It's like, no, come on, we gonna get back up, and we're gonna do whatever we need to do, no matter what it is. We're gonna do what
Oh,
we need to do.
right.
Nature tried to take us out, still did not take us out. We still went back
Right.
and did everything we needed to do. Some people didn't come back, but other people did, because it's like, no, this is what we love. This is our city. This is what we are going to do. This is what we're going
Yes.
to do. So I think just the culture here is
Hmm.
never let nothing let you down or keep you down at all times. Don't do that. Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it. You can process it. But what we're gonna do is get back up and keep pushing, because we have things to do. Things to
Right.
do. Yep.
Right. I love that. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I love that. So this is awesome. So you provide service, you're creative, you're an entrepreneur, you have a publishing company, you are doing great things in full throttle. You also mentioned that the love of your life.
Mm-hmm.
How that was very, very impactful. So
Mm-hmm.
talk about that relationship, what you're willing to share. Because I think that's also
Well,
something that people need to know. It's
yeah.
not over. There's someone out there for you.
Absolutely. And this person just so happened to be in my life before.
Oh,
This wasn't somebody that just popped in, because when I tell you my trust issues were issues, there were issues. There were definitely issues, because I'd been through enough. But the Lord allowed us in order to come back together,
yeah,
and actually he helped heal those parts that were still broken, that I still needed to heal. Because in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, I'm doing good. I'm all right. And he was patient enough with me to work through that process. So I think anybody could find love again. You can absolutely find love again. You can, but you have to be willing to be patient through that process with that person, honestly.
absolutely.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
And you know, he had his own business himself, and it just so happened that, I was a business consultant too, and was able to help him with his business.
Nice.
So it's just, it all came together, but you just have to be willing to accept. You have to be willing to accept that and to walk through the process together. And that's how we are walking through this process together and doing everything together.
Love it. That
Yep.
is awesome. That right there gives hope to the listeners. I'm telling you,
There
because
is
I think
hope.
a lot of people are like, am I ever going to find my soulmate or that person that
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
the nice thing about when you're older, though, you have more clarity around what you want, what you
Absolutely.
don't want, what you
Mhm.
really will not tolerate.
Mhm.
Um, it's a prize to me to get older and mature. It really is.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
And you
for
have to
sure.
let God guide you through that process.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let
Mm-hmm.
God guide you through that process. You can't think you're gonna go in there head first and like, ooh, dive in. No. You let
No.
the Lord guide you through that process. And it's not gonna be an easy process. There's some moments you're gonna be like, look, Lord, what are we doing again? Why are we going through this again, God? But you have to trust him in his will and the way he has you walk down this path. You have to let him show you the path first, not just
Yeah.
go running. Let him show
Yeah.
you that path.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just going to ask you about balancing emotions uh, and healing at the same time, but I think you just answered that. I
Ooh,
think you.
child. Ooh, child. That is
Oh,
not the easiest thing, because anybody who really knows me will tell you I am an emotional person. I am a crybaby. I am emotional. So sometimes I had to tell myself, like, girl, you gotta calm down. I know you've been through some things, but come on, calm it down, dial it back a little bit, and everything's gonna
you
be
say you're
okay.
emotional. You're expressive with your emotions.
I am. I
Mm.
am. I'm very expressive with my emotions. I am. And I'll cry at the drop of a dime. People don't realize it, but it took me a lot to get to the point to where I would not. Because
Oh,
I had to be able to be stronger on my end and
yeah,
not get so emotional because of things that are going on. I had to learn to have my moment. I'll have my moment. Just this is just not that moment. So I'll have
yes,
my moment,
yes.
because my dad, I am a daddy's girl. I'm a
Okay.
daddy's girl. My daddy was taken away from us when he wasn't even 60 years old.
Mm.
So that hurt me to my core. And
Mm-hmm.
I found myself, because I have five brothers and sisters. So it's a lot of us, it's six of us all together.
Okay.
So I found myself I had to be the big sister. I'm the oldest. So I had
Oh
to be the
wow.
big sister. I didn't have
Okay.
time to feel. I didn't have time to break down. I didn't have time to have that emotion. But, you know, the awesome man that came into my life, he was like, "You need to give yourself time to feel this." I said, "Oh, man, don't use my own words on me." But he's like, he said, "You have to feel." And he'll always tell me, "Let it go. Let it go. Give it to me. Let me handle this with you right now. Let it go." So
Mm.
it's kind of like you have to learn to balance it, because if not, you're just stuffing. You're just stuffing. You have to be able to get that out. Those hard moments in your life, those trivial moments in your life, you have to. You have to be able to feel it. But don't be too
Mm-hmm.
emotional and cry all the time. There's a
Mm-hmm.
fine balance between the 2.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of heavy lifting, balancing
Mm-hmm.
your life and also helping others. I think um, that's why I feel so sorry sometimes for teachers because, as one myself, especially middle school. Well, I don't even care what level it is nowadays, K through 12. It
Mm-hmm.
can be tough,
Mm-hmm.
and you go and you pour out and pour out all day to all these little lives, and you have a life too,
Right.
and then you're also figuring out the lives of the parents and some of the situations. It's a lot.
It
And
is. It
so
is.
I tend to be emotional when, maybe behind closed doors when I think about certain situations, but I tend to also experience that. That's why I asked the question,
Mm-hmm.
because your cup has to be full in order for you to pour into
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
Sometimes our cups are overflowing and we don't know what direction to go in because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much need all
Right.
around us.
Right.
Um, and so, with what you're doing with Obsidian Whisper Press, you are able to reach more people, just like I do with podcasting now. Reach more people with not necessarily so much more effort, other than what it takes to run the business. But
Right.
really, it's a great way to help people in multitude. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty amazing. What are some other creative outlets you have? What else do you do besides the work you do?
Um, I'm a binge watcher.
Of what genre? What?
Oh my gosh. It just I love action. I love
Oh,
action
okay.
movies. Um, Certain types of series on
Hmm.
BET, I will binge watch. That's me. Sometimes that's my getaway. I will sit there and I will just binge watch and be happy on the sofa for the whole weekend and not moving. I'm good. I am good. But that
Yeah.
I do that. I also I love to spend time with my kids, but they're a little older now, so they're not gonna go everywhere with me, but sometimes I find myself going on a lake. There's a lake out here. I will sit on a lake and just focus, just meditate, just have that quiet time for yourself where you can get your own thoughts together. So that's what
Yes.
I do outside of everything else that I do. That is some of the things that I do just to give myself some quiet time.
You have to do that. You have to
Hmm.
build yourself back up. That cup I was talking about, that's how you
Yeah.
fill it back up. Take some
Hmm.
time to yourself, get some good rest and all of that. You absolutely have to.
Hmm.
And I know your type because I am your type. I get it. And
Uh-huh.
I know so many
Hmm.
like us that are always go, 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 go. But I
Right.
too love a good binge watching. And
Yes.
I can't, if I am introduced to like a Netflix series or any particular series, I won't stop until I've watched all the episodes that's
Yeah.
available. Yeah, over a weekend. That's true. But I'm also multitasking and doing, you know, all kinds of
Hmm.
stuff. But I love that. I love that you do take the time to do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So kind of in closing, what is your hope listeners walk away with from this episode?
That there is hope.
Okay.
That there is hope. That, again, like we talked about earlier, there is hope. You're not stuck. You're not stuck. You're processing. Allow yourself time to process and feel, and to make sure you're very, very, very intentional about who you speak with and who you speak to on your journey, because
Mhm.
you can't have yourself surrounded by negativity trying to heal through adversity.
Mm. Yeah, you said a
You
lot, and
cannot.
that's all good stuff.
You
Yeah,
cannot.
very good stuff. You
But you're
cannot.
okay. You're
Hmm.
okay. And you're going to make it through. You're going
Hmm.
to make it through. If I can make it through, anybody can make it through. You can make it through. As hard as it may seem, you're going to get through that next step. Take every day as a step. You wake up in the morning, you have in your head, hey, this is my step to make it through the day. If it may
Hmm.
be my step to make it through the hour, if that's how you have to take it, but whatever works for you, do it. Because
Mm.
you can't heal if you don't heal yourself. Gotta heal yourself.
That's the truth. That is the
Gotta heal
truth.
yourself. And you can't help anyone else if you don't heal yourself.
Absolutely. So we have listeners right now live, but we also will have many listeners for days and days and days to come.
Hmm.
How can listeners connect with you to purchase Beyond the Scars? And also, if they're interested in publishing, what's the best way to connect with you?
You can go to our Facebook page. We do have the Obsidian Whisper Press Facebook page.
Mhm.
Even if you want to get to me on my personal page, I am not that person. You can always send a message to me on my personal page. And I'm also on Instagram under Faith, Hope, and Love, of course. So you can get to me on there. And Obsidian Whisper Press also has a Facebook page, has an Instagram page, and you can get with us through there. Even if it's something where you just want to talk and need somebody that you know you can trust just to talk to. I'd rather talk to you to make it through that moment than you feel like you're hopeless and you can't go anywhere else or do anything. So just reach out. Reach out.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
available.
That's beautiful. I have one more question that I really,
Mm-hmm.
this one, I'm just super curious about.
Uh-huh.
If you could whisper one powerful truth to your younger self,
Mm-hmm.
knowing where you were, your hardest moments, what would you say?
I will tell her, you're gonna be okay. The best is yet to come. Keep pushing.
Keep pushing. I
Keep
love
pushing.
it. I
Keep
love it. I
pushing.
love it. That's
Yep.
beautiful. That's
Yep.
beautiful. Please, I want you to hang out. Don't go away. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
talk backstage, but thank you so much to all our listeners. Thank you for taking the time to listen now. And if you listen in the future, if it's a replay, then certainly like, share, comment, and let us know what did you learn from this. And if you'd like to reach out to either of us, you can certainly do it in comments as well. But Krishann, I'm grateful for what you're doing. I'm excited for Obsidian Whisper Press and how many people you are, because we have to speak it into existence. The,
Absolutely.
the thousands, the multitudes of books that you will help get published, that's going to touch even thousands more lives
Absolutely.
worldwide. We're gonna
Thank
take it
you.
to
There you
world.
go. There you go. And thank
So
you for the opportunity. I really do appreciate you.
absolutely. Well, it's likewise. It takes all of us in this village to make this thing happen. As Big Jack says, with Iron Sharpening Iron Universe, takes. Am I gonna mess this up? Each one reach one, so we grow and glow. I don't know if I mess it up or not, but that's what he
That's
means.
okay. There you go.
He'll tell me. But thank you again. I appreciate
Of
you. I
course.
appreciate
Thank you.
everyone who hung out and who listened. And stay tuned for what's happening with Krishann Garrett and with Obsidian Whisper Press. And don't go anywhere, Krishann. Stay on, okay?
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Oh,